It's post time. On behalf of America's Best Racing, I'm Joe Kristufek, and on this edition, we're going to talk all about the lure of the Triple Crown. Now, once a horse wins the Kentucky Derby, their next quest becomes the holy grail of thoroughbred racing, and that is the Triple Crown. It's a series of 3 races for 3-year-olds raced every spring in North America. The first leg, the first Saturday in May, of course, the Kentucky Derby. It's run 1.25 miles on dirt, which is the first time any of these 3-year-olds will have run that distance. 2 weeks later, Baltimore, Maryland is the venue for the Preakness Stakes at Pimlico, and this race slightly shorter than the Derby at 1 mile and 3/16, and is often won by the horse that enters the starting gate as the favorite, and many times that is the Kentucky Derby winner. Now, the Belmont Stakes is 3 weeks after the Preakness. It is raced in June, Belmont Park, Elmont, New York, 1.5 miles the distance. This is likely the first and only time any of these 3-year-olds run that far, particularly on the main track. So in order to win the Triple Crown, to be crowned a horse racing legend, so to speak, these horses have to run nearly 4 miles over a 5-week period at 3 different venues, 3 completely different states, different racetracks. No wonder why no horse has done it since 1978. It's certainly not easy. We haven't had a Triple Crown winner since Affirmed, and only 11 horses can claim that they are Triple Crown winners. But every year, the first Saturday in May, when the horse crosses the line first in the Kentucky Derby, hope springs eternal that a new racing legend will emerge, go on to win the Preakness, go on to win the Belmont, give a whole heck of a lot of great exposure to horse racing, but like I said, it hasn't happened in a long, long time. Now, I have short stories on all the previous Triple Crown winners in the written part of this blog at americasbestracing.net, but I'm going to tell you about 3 of my favorites. And let's look back to 1948. I know I wasn't alive back then, but I do have a fond spot in my heart for Citation. I had the pleasure of meeting jockey Eddie Arcaro during the latter stages of his life, told some great stories, arguably the greatest jockey of all time, and he said that he thought Citation was the greatest horse of all time. He dominated all 3 Triple Crown races, won 19 of 20 races as a 3-year-old, and many of those wins were against tough older horses. Let's fast forward to 1973, Big Red, the tremendous machine, Secretariat, easily the best horse that we've seen in the last 50 years. His domination of the Triple Crown built his legend. His crushing 31-length Belmont Demolition is considered by many to be the most impressive victory in the history of the sport. The Disney movie Secretariat was released in 2010. And finally, the most recent Triple Crown winner, 1978, Affirmed. He and Alydar provided one of the greatest rivalries in thoroughbred racing throughout the Triple Crown, and many observers thought Affirmed was lucky to beat Alydar in the Derby and the Preakness. After falling just short in those 2 races, Alydar actually put his nose in front of Affirmed in the late stages of the Belmont, only to be outgained to the wire. Now, half of the last 16 Kentucky Derby winners have gone on to win the Preakness as well. Silver Charm, Real Quiet, Charismatic, War Emblem, Funny Side, Smarty Jones, Big Brown, and just a couple of years ago, I'll Have Another. But they were denied their place in history in the Belmont, and they all have a story too. Interestingly enough, trainer Bob Baffert has the distinction of training 3 of those near misses. Silver Charm, who was defeated on the square by Touch Gold in the Belmont Stakes. Real Quiet, who lost a heartbreaker to Victory Gallop in the final jump. And War Emblem, who lost all chance in the Belmont when he stumbled badly at the start. Smarty Jones, he was America's horse. He suffered a gut-wrenching defeat in his Triple Crown bid to Birdstone in the Belmont. Charismatic's loss was certainly an emotional one. And Big Brown, well, he just simply failed to make the course as the heavy favorite. Just 2 years ago, I'll Have Another had to be scratched from the Belmont due to a minor injury just a couple of days before the race. The moral of the story, the Triple Crown, more heartbreak than triumph. But that's what magnifies the mystique of this prestigious thoroughbred racing series. Until we meet again, enjoy this year's Triple Crown, and remember, live it, love it, play it, share it, bet on it at americasbestracing.net.